Welcome to the Delingpole with me, James Delingpole. Just giving you a heads up about this week's exciting guests. First up, I've got Dame Helena Morrissey, who is kind of city superwoman. She's got 9 children and she's a very successful fund manager in the City of London. And we talk about all sorts of things. Helena, surprisingly, even though she campaigns for women to have more of a role in the city and so on, which kind of I disagree with, but we argue about that. We get on really well, and because she doesn't take any prisoners and she's pretty soundly right wing. Anyway, if you'd like to hear her now, please sign up to my Patreon, which is going really well, and lots of people just like you, just as lovely as you, have signed up, and it's great. Otherwise, obviously, you can wait a few days and have it later on. But then you won't get my next podcast early either, which is equally good, with Dr. James Todaro talking about hydroxychloroquine and other things, in Lancet Gate. Anyway, I really recommend, obviously I'm biased here, but I really recommend you support my Patreon because it's great and you'll find lots of like-minded folk. And there are special perks as well. Thank you, my special friend. All for now. Bye.
So the numbers have to be fast and loose at the moment. You just can't say, well, last time we were here, this is what happened, because we've never, ever knowingly ground the economy to a screeching halt and then kept it like that. And then, of course, we don't know, which is one thing I do think the Swedes thought about right at the beginning. They thought, how can we make this sustainable? You know, lockdown isn't something that we can do forever, even if at one end of the spectrum, people that we wouldn't agree with, but people say we can't sort of freely associate with each other until we've got a vaccine. I mean, you know, who knows if we'll ever get a vaccine. So if we put that at one end of the spectrum, and then people say, well, just carry on about your business now, it's very hard to envisage how we lift lockdown in a way that is, you know, ongoing, positive for the economy, that gradually encourages people. And that's partly because the fear of God has been put into people. People are very, very frightened about the disease. And that's I think one of the biggest challenges that we have as a country, that we've successfully engineered this fear, even if it was the wrong thing to do. And now people are too afraid. And you have to not be afraid if you're going to create, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to live life to the full, consume, go out to restaurants, go to churches, you know. So we've got a real problem about unlocking that fear.